or like violating due process. Wait, who are you talking about? A normie friend of mine. And no, stop trying to guess who it is. You don't know who this person is. Okay, you guys are so goddamn annoying. I keep like normal friends of mine away from this to the best of my fucking ability, because a lot of you are freaks. Okay, a lot of you are freaks and a lot of you are annoying, and there are haters in here as well. There's like lovers who are freaks, and then there's haters who are even bigger freaks. So it's good to kind of keep myself grounded to the best of my ability and try to understand where like average people are coming from. And I was still kind of shocked because people are kind of checked out. Like there's a lot of people that are paying close attention to this stuff, young people in general. But if you're looking at like someone who's financially comfortable and just worrying about like finance or whatever, even then I was just like, what do you think about all the tariffs and the instability that it's causing? And he was just like, I don't know, I'm not, it's fine. Like, it's not nihilism at all. No, this is a very empathetic person. It's not nihilism. Like, I'm fairly certain that if this person were more aware of the actions that the Trump administration was taking, I think they would be more frustrated. They would be financed, right? So he's constantly involved with like knowing what's up. He's constantly reading financial news and things like that. Doesn't like the All In podcast, but also simultaneously was just like, it didn't like the All In podcast because it's too political. That's what he said. And it's interesting because I'm talking to him and I'm just like, have you heard about all the stuff that's going on with like ICE? Okay. And like deportations, like they're trying to revoke the citizenship of American legal permanent residents and stuff. Like, do you sense an environment of discomfort or unease? Like, are you aware of all this? And he literally was oblivious. He's just like, no, what? I didn't hear about any of that. I always like to look at he says something like, I always like to look at the positive. Like, I always like to look at the silver lining. And it's really interesting because I don't even think it's his fault, right? I don't think it's his fault. I think that the first time around in the 2016 Trump won term, the media was dialed in on the craziness, right? The media was dialed in on the craziness, totally locked in, covering like round the clock, maybe a decent amount of palace intrigue as well. But like they were covering the insanity of the Trump administration. Whereas this time around, I think there is like a dropping of the ball as well. Yes, it's privilege. Yes, chatters. Yes, woke chatters. Fucking dunk on the normie. I know. Of course, there is privilege associated with this as well. But it's important for you to understand, like, a person like this, under other circumstances, a privileged person like this, under other circumstances, would be a little bit more in tune with some of the horrifying nature of like the dismantling of the administrative state. More upset. They would definitely be more in tune. So interestingly enough, a lot of people that are normally fairly locked in on all the things that are happening, all the comings and goings, are oblivious. And part of that, I think, is because there isn't enough broad awareness. There isn't enough people that are paying close attention. It's not at the forefront of people's minds right now. And I think maybe that's the reason why Trump is kind of getting away with a bunch of this shit. And I still lay some of this responsibility at the feet of the Democratic Party for not making a bigger stink about it. I lay some of the responsibility on the media for not making a bigger stink about it either. You know what I mean? Like, it's just strange. It's a strange reality because this administration is goose stepping towards fascism and has already started doing a bunch of fascist things, right? Erosion of what remains of the civil liberties, right? This sort of stuff is definitely scary. But yeah. Chat's always funny because like when you're so tapped in and when you're so dialed in on all of the comings and goings of the real world, you unironically become so out of touch with like the average person. That's why you guys freak out weirdly enough when I have a conversation with like a normie. The 2 Uber driver convos that I had at Vegas was probably more instructive than the 9-minute back and forth interview that I had with like AOC and Bernie Sanders. But I stabilize in a second. Hold on. The second was always my better one. Like look at my goddamn hammies, dude. Look at my goddamn hammies. Yeah, I've been getting back into it. I've been getting back into it a little bit, and you know, not bad. Not bad. It was good. It's parallel. I don't want to hear people going, bro, did not go parallel to the ground in the second rep. Yes, I did. This is parallel, and it's not even the lowest. What are you talking about? God, I hate showing squats. Everyone always complains. Is it too woke to mention Carrie is a pregnant woman beater? What? Who? I have no idea what you're talking about. What? What are you talking about? But oh, look at this one. I almost failed on this. I almost failed on the 5th one. Look at this one. This one's crazy. Look. Folks, I'm live and alive, and we have yeah, fit pick, white monster on deck. I was low-key hating my bad. Yeah. So that's it. That's what we got. Leg day today. Feeling pretty good. Now I'm here. You probably could hit parallel with that weight if you switched essential water over to Saratoga Big Dog. Hell yeah. Broke a kitchen cabinet with my thigh recently. I'm so strong. Respect. Do you have to post it? Do the correct weight next time and film that. That was too heavy for you. Hustle. It's my top set. And at my last top set, doing it for 5 with form like that is perfectly fine. You guys are wrong. Okay? If you don't get under heavy weights, like the idea that I'm doing ego lifting is so stupid. That is not ego lifting. Okay? That is quite literally safe. You have to be under some heavy weights to get comfortable with heavy weights. I'm not putting like so much I'm not putting so much weight on top of myself that I literally can't come out from underneath it without proper form. You are wrong.